Okay, so opening. We're opening steps. We just got here.
Turn on the light.
Turn on the light.
Close the door.
Close the door.
Walk in here. Take a look around. Make sure that this refrigerator is on.
Yeah. Okay, how do you do that? Okay, just the on. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
It's at 42, which isn't good. It should be below 41. So
Okay.
It's kind of weird, but it does cycle. So there's going to be times that it goes to 42, but
Okay.
we do need to make sure that the food inside there is below 41.
Okay.
For food safety sake.
Okay.
Generally do a look around. So when I walk in, I notice that I had left this stuff here last night. So this is going to have to get put away today. I can wait till Caden comes in to do that.
Okay.
The thermostat's at 78, 79, so we're going to bring it down to 75, 76.
Okay.
So it gets nice and cool in
And
here.
so you grab that from there,
Yeah.
turn it down to 75.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm just doing a look through, make sure that the plumbing didn't start leaking out. Stuff like this happens.
Yeah.
You just need to catch it as soon as you get here in the morning. Just looking around. Now, we'll come to the back.
Okay.
We turn that light on. I turn this light on here.
Okay.
This remote, which is
So you
this
turn
Velcro,
you turn on the light there. Okay, and then the Velcro.
and then point it right at this little receiver. That turns on the rope lighting inside the main room.
The rope lighting. Okay, so you got that from right here.
Yep.
Okay, and then what button did you push?
The on the remote.
You pushed the
On.
red button.
Yep, this is on. Pointed at that.
Pointed at that, and then these lights turn on here. Okay. All right.
Come back here. Same thing. I'm looking around, making sure that turn this main light on. That gets it nice and bright in here.
Where did you turn that on? Okay, just a little switch right there.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Doing the general look through, make sure that everything's set. We didn't have a break in last night. The gas didn't leak all night. We haven't, just
No
looking at-
raccoons running around in here.
We look at the sink.
Spiders.
Make sure that all the sinks are clean from the night before. They are. It looks like
Yeah.
whoever closed last night did a good job.
That was me. That was him.
And then what we do is we get ready for the day.
We get ready for the day.
So this is our to-do list, also our shopping list.
Okay.
What we need to do is add a tiny bit of water to this magic eraser.
Okay.
Just sprinkle.
Yeah. You got a little magic eraser. Oh, you got a cat meowing?
Yep. Cat. We need to feed the cat, but that's not a huge priority.
Yeah. The cat.
I bought
Okay.
Stuff already.
So you have
That's our shopping
notes.
list.
Okay.
Yep.
This is notes for you.
Now, throughout the day, I'll notice things like the first thing I noticed when we walked in that there's a box of Coke, a box of water bottles
Okay.
that need to get put into the refrigerator and then put away, and then there's also a box of paper towels that need to get put away. So I'm going to just quickly add on here. Try to find it.
And that'll be for your employee that comes in today? Okay.
Yeah. So stock drinks
Okay.
and stock paper towels.
Okay.
When people work here, they're gonna have to learn how to read my
Handwriting.
Handwriting.
That amazing handwriting.
But
Okay.
that just comes with the territory.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Then
All
list
right.
of things that I need to do today. I'm gonna have to make prep the chicken,
Prep the chicken.
marinate.
Okay, so are there notes for him and notes for you?
Yeah. Basically, it's a big thing of things that need to get done, so I don't forget to do them.
Okay.
Today, it's a given. Every day we need to make the rice, so I won't put that on there. The normal stuff I don't put on here.
Okay.
But,
Okay. So hang on. Okay, so we're still opening
Yeah.
part 2 where this is what we do when we first come and open up shop here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're putting notes on what you know you need to do today.
Things
And
that are not normal.
And
things.
today we need to prep chicken.
Yeah.
And you know that ahead of time. And so part of opening is looking at what you need to do.
Exactly.
Sometimes you might need to prep for smoothies like we did yesterday.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might need to prep
Yeah,
for.
actually, that should be. That's something that when the guys come in, I'm gonna have. That's gonna be part of their duties is getting a par of how many smoothie kits do we have already.
Okay.
Doing a quick walkthrough.
So let's look. How many smoothie kits do we have? We look in here.
They're gonna have to also check this.
Make sure
we're ready for a day.
Yeah.
Containers over here.
Make sure we've got containers.
Enough containers.
Make sure we've got napkins. Make sure we've got utensils, straws.
And we'll have that on a checklist. You'll check things off. Maybe on like a little laminated sheet
Checklist,
of paper.
yeah.
An opening checklist. And then as they come through and they do things, they'll just check, check, check.
Yep. And so you had cleaned the smoothie machine.
Last night, so we're going to put it back together.
And you left it apart because it's dry. We want it to dry and not get moldy. And so we did a video on that.
Put that in this hole, pull
Yeah.
it forward.
And pull it forward.
So it slides forward, and we can put this on here. This little hole right here lines up with that little nub,
Yeah.
the nubby nub.
Yeah.
Put the tip jar up here.
Okay.
Put the tip jar down every night so someone doesn't look in the window
Yeah.
and see a dollar bill and break my window for $1
$1,
or $2
right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And we do empty the tip jar every night. Other than we'll leave $1 and some change in there. That's called seed money. That way other people see it and they remember.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Okay.
employees would like a gratuity if they do a good job.
Right.
And, oh yeah, here's a good thing. Tips are not a right. Tips are if you do a good job and someone's happy with you, they'll
Yeah.
give you that tip. But that doesn't automatically mean just because you show up in the morning you're going to get tips.
Right.
You have to earn those tips.
You want to work hard and razzle and dazzle people and be happy and upbeat and love
Absolutely.
people, and then they'll want to tip you. Yeah.
If someone's here in a bad mood and the other guy's doing a good job getting all the tips, I'm not going to split that equally.
Yeah.
So if you're both kicking butt and doing a really good job, you both split the tips because I'm all about fairness. I really
Yes.
want everyone to get the same amount. But
But if
it's not fair for someone to work hard and be friendly and the other person taking away tips by being in a sour mood.
Yeah.
And then also get the same amount as the other guy that did all the work. So
Right.
keep that in mind.
yeah, and so we look in here and we're looking at what smoothies
Yeah. So
are ready to go.
Again, this will probably be, we'll have a checklist, like it'll say the 3 types of smoothies that we have right now. Green colada, the berry flower power.
Berry flower power,
and
Green Colada is
Yeah, green colada is pineapple and
Pineapple.
and banana.
yeah.
The tangerine scream is tangerines and
Yeah.
bananas.
And we've done video training on each one of these.
Berry flower power is berries and bananas.
Yes.
And hibiscus.
And the hibiscus, the healthy stuff.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll just do a quick count.
And how many do you want?
We're not sure yet. Since
Okay.
This is kind of new. We just started having the room to do this. We got a new freezer in yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking for the time being, it's going to be at least four smoothies of each type.
Of each type.
Each type.
And so you're doing a count, and we do this every day.
Yeah,
Are you actually going to take them out like
Well,
this?
I'm going to have to at this point. We're going to have boxes in
Okay.
the future. So we'll have a clear box, and that will have only the tangerine scream in it.
Right.
That way, it's a lot easier to count each particular type.
Yeah.
We don't have that luxury yet, so for today, I'm doing it this way.
Okay.
All right, so I've got.
Okay. All right. And so video part 3, we're opening.
Okay, so we've got 1 greeny colada, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 greeny coladas.
Okay.
Again-
So then you write that down?
Yep, write that down
Okay.
in English.
7 Green Coladas.
GYC.
Okay.
All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tangerine scream.
Okay.
So 7 tangerine scream. And
So
then
7 and 7. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 of the berry flower power.
Okay.
5 late berry flower power. All right. And now we know we probably should make a couple berry flower power if our par is 7, which kind of seems like we've out there. But of course, there's going to be some smoothies that are going to sell less
Yeah.
than others. And we'll just have to, we will be figuring that out as time goes on.
Okay.
We don't have all that figured out yet.
Yeah. And so you said the smoothies are a little newer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
The smoothies are big time awesome, amazing, phenomenal, healthy, and they taste good.
so when we put these kits in here,
Yeah.
we've got these little trays that keep a couple cups up top. I'm going to put 2 of each type of smoothie up here. So
Okay.
we already got 2 tangerine cream in there. We'll have 2 berry flower power and then 2 green colada. That way these are really easy to find. These are also going to be the oldest. So we FIFO, first in, first out.
Yeah.
Those are
So
going to be the ones that we use foist.
right.
And then
So
I do have a box of them right there.
okay. Okay. So you grab this box.
This is
And
just-
so you have 2 of each up top, and they're the oldest ones made. How do they know if it's the oldest one? Just rough idea.
When you make them, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to put the newest ones that you've just made on the very
On the bottom,
below
right.
everything else, so that we don't accidentally use those ones first.
Right, okay. Okay. And so you already have some in there.
We're just figuring out how to do this right now.
Yeah.
It ain't no thing.
So this is new. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, eventually we'll be able to have fruit kits here as well.
When someone comes in today, if it's slow, that's what we'll busy work. We'll have busy work that's when it's
Okay.
slow, these are things that need to get done.
So we can have extra fruit kits ready
Yeah.
if it gets busy. Keeping this
When
organized.
it's slow,
Yeah.
in order to keep ourselves busy, we'll do stuff like
Right.
that.
And so you turn on the TV. Where did you just grab that remote from?
The remote lives right here. He lives
Right.
there on the Velcro.
Right there on the Velcro. Okay.
Um,
And so you just hit power?
Yeah, hit
What did
power.
you hit? Just power?
yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll have to let it boot up for a little bit. You can do something else while you wait for that. If you
Okay.
go too early, the next thing you want to do is hit input.
Okay.
Input and then go to USB because we're using a USB. So to get there, you hit input. It brings you this menu here, and then if you don't hit it in time, it'll go back to some kind of sleep mode.
Okay.
Go up. Then
Up.
Scroll up, then it takes you to USB. Once it's hit OK a couple times. No,
You went to USB.
Yeah.
You went up. So first you hit input
input right here,
right there. Yeah.
and then you hit enter to
Enter.
no, then you hit up a couple times to get to
To get to the input that was above.
then
Yeah.
you hit OK to get to the root menu. Hit it again. Once that's on there,
Ah.
now this menu comes up. This menu is the one with the smoothies. We can have custom. We can have different menus. So we can always do a special, and then when you scroll sideways, it'll scroll through the different menus. This is a different menu. This menu doesn't have smoothies on
It doesn't have the smoothies on it.
Yeah,
and you
but-
just hit
yeah,
sideways on that
yeah.
right
So
there.
it scrolls through your different menus that you have on here, and it will be able to have maybe even a dinner menu at some point or a breakfast menu, and then you'll just turn it off. The breakfast menu will be off when you just scroll.
Okay.
Adding some kind of a special if we're doing like scroll sideways. It'll take you through the different USB menus.
Right on. Okay.
That lives right there.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, when you come in the morning, you're going to need to clock in. So as soon as you get here and you're ready to work, if you need a pee, you
Yeah.
don't come in and clock in and then go pee. Whatever you need to get done before you start working,
Yeah.
do that thing first. And you come in ready to work, hit that clock button on the bottom right.
Okay, so this will just be open.
Yeah,
Like that.
It'll say enter passcode. You enter your own personal passcode.
Okay.
And then it'll give you the option of clocking in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's
All right. Doing dishes.
Alright, so you want to put a plug in this sink. At the end of the day, when you drain these, you always want to put a strainer in there. Never just pull the plug and let a bunch of debris go down into the sewer.
Okay,
We don't
yeah.
have a grease trap here, and our sewage will get like backed up. So we don't want any little debris going down there. Everything gets caught in the strainer and dumped out in the trash.
Got it. Got it.
So soap side gets hot water and letting that water get as hot as I can.
So this is the soap side.
Soap side, detergent or soap.
You just put a little soap there.
Soap there. Put the hot water in there. Mix it up to get the soap.
Get the suds going.
Get the suds going.
Yeah.
So, middle sink.
Okay.
Middle sink is for rinse. You rinse off all the loose debris.
Yeah.
Never put a dirty dish into that soap water.
Okay.
And once that water is dirty, then you got to drain it and refill it. It's a waste.
So you rinse this off.
Rinse it off.
And then this stuff can soak. And it needs to be thoroughly rinsed off. These are the sheets that do the layers with the bananas and the fruit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once those are clean, where do they go? They're up here somewhere?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
there's so many things to learn where to put
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to do a video on that. We can.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a lot of different dishes.
Uh-huh.
Now, knives, never just put a knife in the sink.
Okay.
What will happen is someone will put a knife, walk away, and then something gets put on top of it, and next guy comes in and starts doing dishes.
And then
reaches in
cuts
there,
himself.
Catches a knife between the fingers like that.
Oh.
Or like you can get, it's actually a health department violation. If they catch you doing it, you'll get in trouble.
Okay.
And it's also dangerous. And the reason I don't want to do it is I don't want to hurt someone. So
And you don't want the knife to get dull. You don't want to hit it.
No,
Yeah.
but the worst thing would be someone getting really, really hurt.
Yeah.
So with the knife, as soon as I get a knife back here, typically, usually, maybe 90% of the time, I will wash it as soon as I get it, rinse
Okay.
it, rinse all the soap off, dip it in your sand,
So this is sanitation. And what did you do here again?
it's just bleach and water.
Bleach and water. Okay.
And then the knives get hung up over here. That's the only place that knives live.
That's magnetic.
Yeah, we might end up getting another magnet somewhere in the shop, but for now, that's the only place knives live.
Okay.
Oh yeah, here's another thing I didn't talk about earlier. And if you work here long enough, you're gonna hear me say this. The only thing that ever gets put on top of a cutting board is a knife or food. Never put a container, any container, nothing ever goes on top of a cutting board other than soap or food. Nothing.
Nothing.
Ever.
Ever goes on top of a cutting board except the knife and food.
Oh yeah, when you're washing a cutting board, put it on a nice flat surface like this. That way you can get good pressure on it. Now the reason nothing goes on a cutting board other than food or
Because it'll contaminate the food.
yeah, I've seen. I came over that rule at my first restaurant like 8 years ago. I had an employee that there was a cutting board. He brought in a box of bananas or something. He put them on the ground, then picked it up, and put it on top of the cutting board to go do something. Well, that had just been on the floor, and who knows if someone had walked through the parking lot, stepped on a dead rat or a pile of dog crap,
and it's on the floor, and then boom, and it goes on where
someone cuts an apple,
Yep.
or, raw food.
Yep.
And you can get someone really sick that way.
Yep.
We do things with the mind that we're trying to help people, not hurt them. And if you hurt someone because you're not careful, then you're not acting in love, and that's not what we do around here.
Yes. That's great, man. And then this has already been sanitized. And so the cutting board, once it's out of the bleach water, will go back here.
No. The cutting board, they live up here.
Okay.
So, and then you never want to stack wet cutting boards on top of each other.
You let it dry.
Cutting boards can also go over here. That's the big cutting board right there.
Okay.
And when we're processing a bunch of beef or a bunch of chicken, we'll use that cutting board.
Okay.
And then we got these cutting boards over here.
Beautiful. So we're getting ready for the day still. We're setting up.
The first thing that I do is I prep the rice maker. I don't necessarily turn it on, but I do get all the rice made. So I'll get a container down. The amount of rice we make right now changes with how busy the days are. It's been kind of slow the last couple days, so I'm probably only going to make either 6 or 8 cups of rice.
Okay.
I do have some leftover rice in the refrigerator that I can heat up very quickly.
Okay.
It's not as good as fresh made rice.
Yeah.
But I have that option, so I don't have to make 10 cups of rice or 12 cups of rice. And if it was a really busy day, that's what we'd be making. But
okay.
So we get out that.
Okay.
We get our basmati rice out.
Okay.
Basmati is a fragrant long grain rice from India.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Where do you get that?
You can buy this at Walmart.
Okay.
It's going to be the most expensive rice they sell at Walmart.
Okay.
It's really, really good. It's expensive because it's delicious.
So you're doing
We're gonna
4 cups
yeah,
there.
4 cups here. We're gonna make 6 cups total today. Which is
Okay.
not a lot.
So sometimes it might be 8 cups.
Sometimes
Today you're doing
actually
6.
a lot of times it's going to be 10 cups.
10 cups
I
even.
imagine in a fairly near future, if we're not doing 10 cups every day, then
Something's not.
whatever.
Yeah.
It might be like that. It might just settle into a very small amount.
Okay.
And at that point, I'll probably be doing this by myself, no employees. So I don't even care.
Okay.
So
And so
we rinse the rice.
you rinse it.
Rinse, drain 4 times, minimum of 4 times.
You rinse and drain the rice 4 times.
Or until the water runs clear.
Or until the water runs clear. Okay. What are you doing there?
I'm just washing.
Okay, you're washing a fork. Okay, so you fill this all the way up. Cold water. That was the cold water.
Cold water. Now you
Fill it all the way up. Okay, so then you kind of
stir it
stir it.
to agitate it. That way. So what we're doing with this is we are straining out the starch.
Okay.
If you make rice without clearing the water, you can end up with a very sticky rice that's kind of chewy and not light and fluffy.
Okay, I see.
Our rice is very light and fluffy.
Light and
people
fluffy.
love our rice. A big part of the reason they love our rice is because we take a lot of time. We don't just throw some rice in a pot and turn it on and walk away.
Yeah.
Strain it.
Yeah. Make sure all the water's out, and then you do it, repeat 4 times.
4 times minimum.
Okay. Interesting.
Scooch all that rice back in
Yeah.
there.
Scooch it in. Okay.
You can always, if you're really busy, if you need to get to something, you can turn this water on like low and just let it. It'll kind of rinse itself.
Yeah.
It'll rinse itself. The rice will sink to the bottom, will come out, and then the water will slowly cycle through there. So that's a way that you can rinse your rice without needing to stir it. But I'm just doing this.
Okay.
I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, in a hurry, so you're full blast. You kind of stir it a little bit.
Yep.
And you're rinsing out, what is it again? The
Starch.
The starch.
Starch and any other impurities that might be in the rice.
Yeah, any impurity that might be in the rice. And so it's draining. The water looks pretty clear just on your second go around.
Yeah. Oh, every time it'll get significantly clearer, but you'll see
Okay.
it's still going to be a little bit of cloudiness to it.
Okay.
But every time it should definitely get a little bit more and more clear.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Do most restaurants do this kind of thing?
I don't know. I've never worked in most restaurants.
Okay.
I don't imagine that they do.
So this is like an above and beyond. This is seeking to do excellence.
Yeah.
And so this is one of the first things you do to start your day.
Yeah. That way you don't, because you want to start your rice maker about 30 to 45 minutes before you open, so that
Okay.
that rice is completely finished. If someone orders a rice bowl, it's all good to go.
Okay. So that's your 3rd time. You do it 4 times.
Yeah. One more time.
Okay. So this is your 4th time?
The final rinse. While this is filling, I'm going to turn it down so it's not going quite so fast.
Okay.
You got the rice maker pot.
Okay, the rice maker pot, is it always right there?
It should be. Yeah, it should
Yeah.
live on the stove or in this area over there.
Okay.
Into the rice maker pot, we're going to put some ingredients.
Some butter.
That's butter. I'm getting what we call a mise en place. The French would call everything in place before you start cooking it.
Okay.
You get some chicken bouillon, some pink Himalayan sea salt,
Okay. And you're getting it all from up here.
some pepper, and some turmeric.
Some pepper and some turmeric.
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 Okay. Table ground black pepper. And so, okay, how much did you just put in? You put in like a third of a,
That's about a quarter of a stick.
or a quarter of a stick
Yeah.
for 6. Okay, and if this overflows, it's not a big deal.
It would just kind of be rinsing itself.
It would just kind of be rinsing itself. Okay. So you put in, for 6 cups, a quarter stick. So if you did 8 cups, a third of a stick, 10 cups, a half of a stick, maybe.
No. Yeah, 10 cups would definitely be at least a half cup.
At
maybe.
least a half
Maybe-
stick
maybe a
of
full
butter.
stick, yeah.
Maybe a full stick even. Okay. Okay. And you make sure it kind of all the impurities getting out of there. And so most days when it picks up more, we're going to be doing 8 to 10 cups instead of 6 cups like today.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 cups is very, very small now.
Yeah. Okay.
I do want to use some of that leftover rice that's already made, so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you mix it in together?
Actually,
leftover?
yes. Sometimes if I know that it seems like we're going to sell out, I'll reheat that rice. That way someone's not getting a full cup of the previous day's rice.
Yeah. And then what do you do here? Okay. So
Now,
you get that.
I've got, this is a little scraper.
And that was over here. The scraper was right
Yeah.
there. Okay. Yeah.
And the scraper's going to probably find a different home. It'll probably live somewhere else, but that's where it was today.
Okay.
And then so you just take all this rice,
Get it out of there.
get it out of there. Just like your bad attitude, get it out of there.
So we're thinking about how to be awesome and make the best food ever and make people excited to want to come back. Get better tips, be awesome. Nice. It's fun when you make people love the food. Is that like part of the enjoyment of the job?
Of course.
Part of the enjoyment is when
Yeah.
people love what you just made.
Yeah. And then so everyone wants to be around people that are having a good time. No one likes being around someone that's in a bad mood. So
Right?
you,
And we're making food here that isn't anywhere at all, hardly in Missouri, let alone Fredericktown, Missouri. It's amazing food.
it's world class food.
World class. But
Here in
in all
Fredericktown.
seriousness,
Yeah.
it really is. So
Yeah.
that's why this man started this business. Okay. So now you put the rice in. Okay, so now we put in the rice.
Put in the rice. Put some pink Himalayan sea salt in there.
How much?
We're gonna have that written down. So no
Okay.
matter how, because we're gonna always have a different amount. If you're making rice, you're gonna follow a recipe.
Okay.
So I don't need to tell you how much I'm putting in here, because
All right.
I cook different. You will follow a recipe.
Yeah, you'll a specific amount
Yes.
of all this stuff
Everything's gonna be written down. You're gonna just follow a card.
every single day. This is kind of how you're beginning of the day. One of the first things you're doing right here
Yep.
with these different. Okay, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, a little bit of ground turmeric, a little bit of whatever that is. What is this?
Chicken bouillon.
Chicken bouillon. Okay, and so that's in there. Nice. Okay, so you're coming in here.
So
Look at
for
that.
rice, you always want to if you do 6 cups, you're doing 1.5 times whatever you got. Use a calculator if you need to. 1.5 multiplied by 6 cups of rice is 9 cups.
9.
So you're going to do 9 cups of water.
9 cups of water. This is purified water.
Yep.
And so 9 cups of water to mix in. And how many cups
When you do that, you fill it and then let it level out on this refrigerator. So
okay,
it's just below 4 cups. So we're going to add just a tiny bit.
A little bit more.
It is important.
So this is important to be pretty much right on.
Yes, you got to be accurate with this.
So the 4 cups, you're almost there, but you want to make sure it's pretty much spot on.
Yep.
And we're doing exactly 9 cups.
Exactly 9 cups.
And you put exactly 6 cups of rice in that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right on.
Okay. Okay, so that's 4.
And what I'm doing, I had a couple of grains of rice left in this container that we had strained the rice in.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just doing this to get the remainder of those couple pieces of rice out of here.
Yeah. If you did that, you maybe wouldn't even need to. Would that save a step? You don't even need to use that tool to get it out. The rest of it out, you could just get it out here and skip that step.
It's still hard to get the last remaining piece of rice.
Okay.
So you want to get as much out with that scraper.
Well, but could you skip the step with the scraper?
No, because this still doesn't.
You won't get it all.
If you look in there right now, there's still going to be
There's still some in
3
there.
or 4 pieces in there. And by the time everything's said, then there still might be a couple pieces left.
Okay.
So that's a couple drips more good.
Because we're doing a total of 9.
So that's 8.
And that's 8. Because you did 6 cups of rice.
Yep.
Times 1.5 is 9 cups of water.
I put two 4 cups so far, which means
1 cup
if
here.
my math is correct, yes, so this would be 1 cup.
Yeah, which is right on the thing. 1 cup. We're close down there.
So that's right on.
So this is important for it to be pretty much spot on.
Here.
So you don't want to cut corners on the measurements. Okay. Oh, and so that goes in this thing.
Goes in the rice maker.
That's the rice maker.
That's the rice maker. Now we're going to take this rice maker.
Okay. You plug it in.
Plug it in, which is going to put it into warming mode. It's not turning it on yet. You press down to turn it on.
Okay,
But
what's that? What did you press?
I didn't
Down.
I didn't press anything.
Oh.
When it's time to turn it on, you press down.
Oh.
We don't want to turn it on yet since we're not open for another 2 hours.
Okay,
So
okay.
we don't want the rice just sitting in here on warmer because it's not good for the rice. So
you're not cooking it yet.
Yeah. What we will do is we're going to find out what 30 minutes till open is. So that would be 10:30. Right now it's 8:54. So it's 9 basically. So
Yeah.
at 10:30 we're going to put an alarm on. And we're going to
Okay.
turn the rice maker on at 10:30.
Got it. So which is 30 minutes. So we open at 11 today.
Yes.
And so 30 minutes ahead of time, we're going to turn that on.
So what we're doing right now is I'm putting on my phone an hour and 30 minutes. Actually, we'll go an hour and 33 minutes because we like 33.
Okay.
That's close enough.
All right.
And
And so your alarm will go off.
Yep.
Got it. Boom. So after we did this, these things need to come here to be cleaned every time, like cleaning Nazis. All right. We got this microwave. Okay, what are we doing here?
So at night before we leave, we shut the grill gas off. So and in the morning when we come in, we have to light that little down. That's called a thermocouple, that thing where the pilot light.
Oh, yeah. See it there? Yeah.
There's 3 of these in here. There's one for each one of these knobs. So
Okay.
once that's lit, we turn that on. And it's going to turn that on. And then once that's lit, all you have to do is light one, turn all the other ones on, and
They'll eventually light.
Yeah, they'll all get lit from. There it goes.
Boom.
Now, before you turn that on, you got to turn on this hood, the ventilation hood. Very important. It's channel 1 on. We'll turn
channel 1 on.
We'll turn
Did
this-
you press channel 2 first?
Yeah,
You did.
I did.
So you pressed channel 2 first.
Yeah, but you don't have to. I did that on accident.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm a dumbass and I forgot which one actually turned.
Okay. So it's channel 1.
Channel
That's
1.
all you need to know. Channel 1.
Yeah, channel 1 off, we'll turn it off.
Okay.
So, but you do want it, so when you're cooking with this much BTUs, this much heat, it's producing a bunch of CO2, a bunch of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide,
Right?
gases that will kill you if you,
And so you turned them all the way up.
yeah.
So they're like full blast
they're all-
right
They're
now.
all full blast, but so the way that this grill cooks is called radiant heat. It's
Okay.
a radiant heat charbroiler. So
Okay.
there's a bunch of metal in here, including the grates on the grill themselves. All this stuff gets hot. You're not cooking with the fire. You're cooking with the hot metal, radiating heat. So
Okay.
you turn them on full blast. You get this all super hot. And once it's hot, that's when you put your chicken or your beef on. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
because aren't you killing potential bacteria right
Well,
now?
Yeah, you're doing that, but the reason that we're turning it up is so that we can cook, not
Yeah.
to kill. I mean, killing bacteria is why you cook anything.
Yeah.
that's why.
Okay.
But right now we're
You're going to heat up.
heating the grill up so that.
And then when do you turn it down, or do you leave it full blast like that?
You leave it full blast when you put the food on there for the first maybe minute and a half, 2 minutes or more. It depends on how thick your food is. You want
Okay.
to get some good char marks on your food so that it tastes like it's charbroiled. That's we're a grilled food restaurant because.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
And so you'll just leave this on like this indefinitely until you start
not
cooking?
indefinitely.
Okay.
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So then while that's heating, we're going to go find something else to do. We're going to come out here.
Okay.
Right now, you can film whatever this guy's name is.
Noah.
Did you plug this in yet, Noah? Okay, before you start taking stuff out of that fridge, you can plug this refrigerator in, turn it on so that it's cool. That way you're not putting stuff into a hot refrigerator.
So plug the fridge, this fridge specifically, you plug it first thing he comes in.
Yeah, we'll probably make it a little bit easier at some point to plug in because it's kind of a pain in the ass to do it this way.
Okay.
Yeah, but for now, that's how we do it.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
it's plugged in.
Then he comes over here to load this. Okay. Okay, and so
While he's loading this, he's also doing a mental checklist and making sure that we have enough lettuce and cut cabbage for today.
mental checklist.
So if we only have this much salsa, that wouldn't be enough. We've got that and this.
So we're good on the salsa.
We don't have a huge. If today was a busy day, that would not be enough salsa.
That would not be enough. Okay.
One tub. But generally, this right now it is enough. We've also got some cut tomatoes. We got our beans for the, and then of course these are all the sauces that we'll have all this on a checklist. We don't have to explain everything. This stuff will change throughout the seasons and the years.
Okay.
Right now, by the time you're hired,
Uh-huh.
we will have, you'll go through a checklist and we need at least one extra of our Caribbean curry mustard along with a partial. So this is enough for most busy days. Same
Okay.
thing with the jerk.
So we're good on these.
Yeah.
What are we low on? Are we low on
So
anything?
it's going to be on a checklist that
Yeah.
is going to be, you're going to look at this stuff and check off stuff.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what it is right now.
Okay.
We're good for today for sure with all this.
Okay.
All right.
All right. And so what is he going to do with it?
Load that refrigerator.
Oh, he's loading this fridge now. Got it.
Okay.
And so every night do you unplug that fridge and unload it and put it in here?
We wipe down all the bottles. We'll do that tonight.
You wipe down all the bottles? Okay.
So what he's doing now, he's taking the saran wrap off those bottles and
Oh.
getting it set for today.
Nice. Noah. Well done, my man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. So you take all the saran wrap off and then do you replace it later? The saran wrap?
No, so the extra, that'll go down below.
Okay.
Because right now, yeah, if you have a half empty bottle, leave the.
Half empty bottle goes up top, full bottles go down below?
Yes.
Okay.
So that, the other white bottle is ranch. So that's the tzatziki that you have right there. It's fine, you can leave that up top. Yeah. Hey, put that on pause real quick.
Okay. Okay, so I'm recording you now. So you said you've got some sodas here that people can grab.
Whenever the sodas in the fridge are full,
Yeah.
you put the sodas in the basket.
Okay.
So if you ever need to restock them, you just grab the basket off the top.
Okay.
It usually sits, and you restock it.
Okay. So the Pepsi, we might be good on the Pepsi up top.
Oh, we do have Pepsi.
Okay. Sweet. No worries.
All right.
I'll tell them. But Mountain Dew, we might be getting low. Because we've got some there. Okay.
All right. I'm not sure.
Okay.
All right. Whenever they're full, just
Okay.
put them on top of the fridge.
Yeah.
And that's that. Whenever
Okay.
it's empty, you pull that off there. And
Right. Then you have some. Okay. What do you do with this now?
that's a good question. I think I put that in.
Okay.
There's
All right. So we're stocking things up. We just grabbed this. If the step stool, if you need to get up to get stuff. And so the cold ones stay in the front, warm ones in the back.
Warm ones go in the back, cold go in the front.
Yeah. And that's the case with the food also. You always have the older food in the front, the brand new food goes behind the older food.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah. Okay.
That's that.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. So we're checking the paper towels. We're checking the napkins. You can kind of put this upside down and look if there's napkins below. Make sure this is full. We're checking the utensils, the paper towels in both here outside the bathroom and in here there's the paper towels right there. So the paper towels, this is Noah's first day, by the way, first official day. The paper towels were up there. And so did we need a few in here? Yeah, we're about half low.
We're about half an hour.
So we're still starting the day off. And we're putting paper towels in there so you just make sure it's full every day. Are there paper towels in the bathroom?
Ooh, yep, gotta check those.
Yep, we can check those in here too. Okay, actually, so those were the napkins, not the paper towels.
My bad.
Here's the paper towels. He had just bought a whole brand new box of them. And we'll make sure that those are full in the 3 spots. Okay, so now we're restocking waters. And again, you put the warm waters in the back.
Make sure the cold ones are always in the
The
front.
cold ones are always in the front. And then as far as the rest of the bag of waters, we'll have to figure out where those are gonna go.
Yeah, any of these drinks, if we have one in there,
Yeah.
it should be packed.
So basically at the beginning of the day, this refrigerator needs to be thoroughly stocked all the way to the back. Yes, all the way to the back. We should be totally stocked full.
And then stuff like this.